Everybody. Welcome to tonight's episode of the K2 Podcast. This is our 22nd episode, which is pretty cool. We've gotten a lot farther than I anticipated we would. I got a lot of different stuff to cover tonight. In addition to tonight's show, I'm going to tell you guys, in addition to like all the stories and stuff that I have prepared, I'm actually going to tell you guys how you can actually get a free stock today. So I know a lot of you have been messaging me saying, hey, I'm interested in getting some investing going on. But I'm a little worried or hesitant to actually deposit money. I don't really know what to do. So I'm going to tell you how you can get a free stock without any money involved whatsoever. So I'm going to explain that to you guys here in just a little bit. In addition to that, we're going to do a couple of things a little bit differently. I got a couple of segments prepared for you guys tonight. Tonight's segments is going to be trending or what's trending in the gamer world with my little brother Jayme Kirby. He's going to be joining us on the show tonight. We also have a story which is seeds from China. I know everybody's kind of been seeing that probably on social media. I haven't seen a whole lot of mainstream coverage on it, but we are going to take a look at that. I also have another segment called Clown of the Week. So we're basically going to take a look at somebody who I consider our Clown of the Week. We also have another topic which I thought was pretty cool. It's called Same Date, Different Year. So it's basically news that's happening today on today's date, but just in a different year, from the past. So it's time to reflect and just kind of look at what might be going on in the news. And then also we have The Rock, apparently, Dwayne Johnson. I'm sure you're all familiar with The Rock. Started his career in the WWE. He has purchased the XFL Football League. That's breaking news that just came out earlier today. So we're going to take a look at a little bit about that. And then lastly, I'm going to tell you guys how to get your free stock. So we're going to get right into that, and we'll get into tonight's show. We'll be right back with you. So there we are. Jayme, you're joining us here on the show. Thanks for being on, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, it's pretty cool because, we don't really always get to talk about some of the gamer stuff, but it's something I wanted to introduce into the show. But what do you got lined up for us tonight? What's some gamer topics you got going on? What's the word in the gamer world?
Well, there's actually quite a bit going on. Towards the middle of the year when the summer hits, you're approaching a lot of the holiday season where is the biggest focus and selling point for a gaming company / industry. So there's so much going on in developing. But for today, I've prepared several talking points. There's a possible leak and a new game coming out with the new Spider-Man coming out for the PS5, new game Rogue Company out there, and Steam as a platform for PC are changing their terms of service that may affect you or may not affect you. And I think some of those will be pretty good. And then I believe we have a clip prepared also with Joe Rogan that has made some comments that we are going to kind of reflect on and opinionate.
All right, cool. Well, we can take a look at that. So, I actually do have that Joe Rogan clip. So, what we'll do is, just so everybody else can see it, I'll play the clip now, and then I'll let everybody take a look at the clip, and then we'll get your thoughts on it, and we'll kind of talk about the clip. So, I'm going to go ahead and play that clip now.
And if their parents are living a bullshit life and their neighbors live in a bullshit life and most of their family lives a bullshit life, they just fucking lay around, you know, and then they seek refuge in drugs or video games or something that stimulates them. And video games are a real problem. They're a real problem. You know why? Because they're fucking fun.
Addictive.
And you don't, well, I have a real problem with them. And you do them and they're real exciting, but you don't get anywhere.
Right.
It's like you could do like martial arts, right? You could learn jujitsu. You get obsessed by jiu-jitsu, and then 3 years later, you're like an elite jiu-jitsu athlete. You're entering in competitions. You're a purple belt.
You're moving up.
Yeah, you're doing well. Right. You're thinking like, I might be able to open my own school one day.
You got confidence.
Yeah, if I have 100 students and those 100 students are paying me X amount of dollars per month, I can make a living. Holy shit, I can have this would be amazing. And then you see your jiu-jitsu school, and your jiu-jitsu instructor has all these students and drives a Mercedes, and he's got an.
All right, so
and if they're paying,
that was the clip there. So tell us a little bit about what's the gamer response to his comments, Jay. Like, what are you thinking about this? Because I've heard he's got a lot of backlash for these comments.
And I'm not surprised, truthfully, you know, because I took a little bit of time out of my day also to watch the clip, and you know, I was a little bit surprised at how I don't want to use the term attacked, but he came after gamers, and you know, he made comments about, you know, how if you're growing up in a rough upbringing or your parents aren't around so much, and that you could see how it wouldn't be an issue for you to be playing games all day when you don't have parents to step in and say, you know, you need to stop playing games all day. But he also says he had his parents weren't really around, and that's kind of why he was able to be a comedian. So it's kind of, he contradicts himself in his own statement, you know, basically saying that if your parents are absent, he was able to sort himself into either this or that. Mm-hmm. And I just don't agree with any of his statements. You know, he compared video games to drugs, which I do understand the addictive point because I play quite a bit of video games actually, but
right.
And he claimed he had problems himself, but, you know, he was saying that, you know, there's no career, you know, like you could do art or jujitsu. And he made a comment about jujitsu teachers driving Mercedes around.
Yeah, I don't know too many jujitsu teachers rocking a Mercedes.
Look,
but, you know.
I drive by plenty of karate places around here, and it's not that pretty.
No, that's
if
funny.
you look at some of these content creators or even just streamers, for instance, you have Ninja, whose net worth is well over $17 million, who just bought an island with his wife recently.
Right.
How many people can you say do that as a jiu-jitsu teacher?
Yeah, that's very true.
Wasted the same amount of time, 3 years worth.
Well, the thing that kind of shocked me a little bit is that he was like, well, he kind of said, well, you can have students and you can start, next thing you know, you open your own school and then you can start making money off of your students. And I'm kind of thinking to myself, what do you mean, like somebody who subscribes to your channel? You know what I'm saying? It's
exactly. It's basically the same thing. You know, you're creating a school or something. You're creating that thing. Basically, creating that subscription. It is the same. I mean, there's millions of dollars in the gaming industry just sitting and waiting. In essence, I mean, if you look at the top 5 revenue for streamers, mm-hmm. It's well over into the $50 million, and there's not even just like, this is not even just things like Ninja has a deal with Adidas. I mean, you do other things with it. Your whole sole purpose is not video gaming. So I don't agree with anything he's putting out there. You know, he's saying you have to sit in a house 5 to 10 hours a day, but what do you think he didn't sit in his house for 5 hours writing a script for him to go on stage and be a comedian?
That's true.
Did he not invest that same amount of time in an office or some kind of setting?
No, that's very true.
It got him to a platform of, you know, where he is now, Joe Rogan, but same as other you know, gamers that built the platform. So I just think that, you know, it was just a poor topic, and I understand why, and, you know, generation wise.
I just think it just shows how disconnected he is. I think it kind of shows his age. What do you say? Okay, boomer to that one? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it okay boomer? Yeah, it's okay. He's just out of touch. It just shows how out of touch he is. Well, what else you got for us lined up in the gamer world?
So with that being said, you know, we'll roll into something. So a lot of things that help you, Joe Rogan did say, you know, you got to know the right game, you know, you got to play the right thing. It's 1 in a billion chance. But, well, this is kind of what can help you. So here with the PS5 coming out recently, along with the Xbox, there's some features that the PS5 will always have that the Xbox won't, and vice versa. But Spider-Man 5 is coming out, or newer Spider-Man is, but also Marvel Avengers is coming out. And this is a game that's been around for quite a while, but there has been a unofficial Reddit leak about Spider-Man being exclusive to the PS5. And Square Enix is the creator of this Marvel game coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And, a lot of these heroes they have confirmed, like Kamala Khan, Mrs. Marvel, Hawkeye, and everything will be included. But they're never confirmed that Spider-Man will be like an exclusive to PS5 or even just teamed up with Iron Man, because there's a tragedy that occurs, if you're familiar with the Avengers at all, where they split forces. You got a Captain America's team on one side and then Iron Man's on another. And Spider-Man was Iron Man's protege in a way in the series. So there is no way to say that these teaming up. But however, this website is an online retailer, and they made a text post on there saying if you buy it through them, you get an exclusive Spider-Man on the PS5 or that one. So it's not a lot of buzz about this. It's not a lot of posts. It's kind of, you got to dig to find. So why would the online retailer post it? It's
well,
not like
are they just saying that like if you do that, then that you'll get the PS5 version exclusively? Not that it's not coming out for the Xbox, but are they just saying that if you do that, you'll get the PS5 version, not necessarily that it's solely coming out on just the PS5? Does that make sense? Well,
the game is not coming out solely on the PS5, no, but they're saying that the Spider-Man edition is going to be like a DLC exclusive to PS5.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
And if you buy the PS4 version, they have suggested that you may be able to take on the MODOK or the AIM as Peter Parker, which I guess is just who he battles in the games and so forth. And so there are things that they have confirmed with Peter Parker, but they haven't necessarily said that you specifically will have Spider-Man on the PS4. They haven't come out and said that. And there's not a lot of buzz around this. So, why would a online retailer make that text, which has been removed now? They've corrected it. Why would they make the text when it's not like a buzz? It's not a trending thing. It's not something you can Google search and then it's trending. It looked like an honest mistake that they weren't supposed to release, and then they've corrected it. So it could be a possible leak. It could be something that if you have a PS5 to look into, it may be worth it for you if you're a Marvel's fan or Spider-Man
I wonder if
fan.
they just did that to create some buzz about the game, kind of just do a sneak attack, because there's so much controversy.
But it's not a popular
retailer,
though. The website's not a very popular one. I've never purchased anything from there, nor have I heard anyone purchase anything through there. It's not like Amazon and Boo or anything, So
yeah.
It's definitely a shadowed company or retailer. It seems like it was a clerical error for sure that they just made.
All right, well, what else you got for us?
So with that being said, in the gaming world, there is a new game out that has generated a lot of buzz. And, I guess I could ask you a question here, Kevin, would be, what would you say if someone came up to you and offered you to be indispensable to solving the world's deadliest and most challenging missions, and to people outside of the know, are you're rumored at best? What would you say if you had that opportunity?
Well, hold on. I don't understand. Hold on. Run that by me again.
Let me reword it.
All right.
So for the people in the know, they know that this group is indispensable to solving the world's deadliest and most challenging missions. What would you say if you had that offer to be a part of that group?
I mean, first off, we got to talk about pay and salary. You know what I'm saying? What's the pay like, first off? But, what you got?
Well, that's fair. Well, either or. There is this top secret syndicate of elite rogues and a game coming out called Rogue Company. And it is a third-person shooter that is out, and it's created by Hi-Res Studios and First Watch Gaming. And, they have so many features, and it's basically, for me, it feels like it's going to take Fortnite off the map. It's going to be the new thing that's going to kind of push it off. It looks great. It's really good. It's out on beta right now, so it's still, got some bugs are working out. But you can do one of two things. So in this game, it offers cross-play features, which you can play against any platform through Epic Games or Epic Game Store on PC, Nintendo Switch, you name it, it's out there.
So all the players can play against each other, even though they're on different consoles and stuff like that.
Right. So it don't matter where you're playing, you can play against each other.
That's
but what's
dope.
really unique and cool about this one, and there's not many games that offer this, is there's a cross-save feature as well. So I can go to my PC, I can play a point and level up 40 times, let's say. I can go play the same game on my Xbox, and I will have those levels on my Xbox. So it don't matter where I want to play, I can play on that account wherever I want, and it saves all of my data. So that's really nice, and
that is cool.
Not many games feature that, but they also offer a support a creator thing where you get a code, and people that follow you, or you content create and put videos out there for tutorials, they can use your creator code, and anything they purchase in the game, you will get a kickback out of. So the game will naturally, say the game costs $5 or something, you'll get $2 of it, or whatever it may be, whatever the ratio is. But outside of this game, it offers a lot of PvP gaming modes inside of it that you'll play against, and so there's a lot of different game modes. But outside the game alone, I'm gonna tell you how to get a free copy. So if you don't have a Twitch account, or you're unfamiliar with Twitch, you should definitely check out twitch.tv. And if you create an account and you look up Rogue Company and you watch some of the streams on there, there's things called drops, and they actually gift you the game, the company that created it, so you can get the game for free without purchasing it. If it sounds like you want to, or if somebody's interested in actually becoming a part of a top secret syndicate, this is for you. But one of my biggest talking things that I wanted to talk about today was Steam. Steam company is more commonly referred to as Valve Corp. And Valve Corp is what their business is. That's their title. It's not necessarily Steam, but they changed their terms of service. And it's a very...
this is for PC, right?
Yeah.
Because I know some people may not know that Steam is for PC.
Right, and it is for PC, but they changed their terms of service and offered a change on VPN protection. So most people are really for VPN protection.
Yeah, I use it myself.
Right, and those that don't know what a VPN is, it's an encrypted connection, that you'll have over the internet, and it basically can shield you from everything from your device to a network, and it helps ensure the data that you use is safely transmitted, and it'll prevent unauthorized people from eavesdropping on traffic, and allows the user to conduct work remotely. So in short, it keeps the user secure and anonymous. So a lot of people are very, VPN pro. Yeah. However, Veeam is still pro VPN, but bad VPN, because gamers love exploits like the Spider-Man leak. So gamers would actually use their VPN to spoof their location, and they would change where they are so that they can either buy games cheaper or get them.
That's kind of creative, though. I never thought about doing that before. Like, go purchasing the game in another country. Like, it's only 20 rupees. 20 rupees.
It's funny you say that, because Rainbow Six Siege is $20 in the United States.
That's crazy.
In Russia, it's 829 rubly, which translates to $11.42. So you almost
so it's like 50%.
Yeah, it's around about if you did it that way.
So just
a lot
using
of people
a VPN.
Could do that. That's just that game, for example. However, it doesn't stop there with just Steam only updated their stuff, but you can use a VPN to watch Netflix and get content, stuff from different regions. Right. So you're getting content from it. It doesn't even stop there. If you do the research, it is out there, guys. Yeah. I promise you. But so the worst part is some VPN companies actually use this as a sale technique, and they will literally say on there as an ad, use us as your VPN service to unlock services and outside of regions.
Right, I've seen it.
Right, and then you put it out there, but more on topic with their terms of service. So you cannot purchase anything outside of your region. You are region locked. The only way around that region lock is you have to use a form of payment in that region. So if you want to buy something in Russia, you got to use a form of payment from Russia, whether it be a bank card or whatever. So I don't know if there's ways around it or whatever, but
that's interesting. That's wild.
That's the only way you can do it. Now, if you're on like a visa or something, they have programs where you can set you have to change there's steps you got to go through. If you're in a different area, there's a forum you can find in Steam. And you know what I'm referring to for those people that are interested. But more specifically, you're not prohibited from using this VPN at all. So when you're gaming and stuff, you can use the VPN, whatever.
Right.
But what they will say is do not make any purchases while using the VPN, period. It doesn't even matter if you're purchasing it in your region. That is still a violation of the terms of service, and they will, execute whatever is their rights to execute.
So basically, like, shut down your Steam account or something if they want.
More than likely, yeah. They may give you a warning. You may get, an email. They may ban you 24 hours. There's no knowing to what extent they may.
Or it could just be scare tactics, just so you don't buy the cheaper shit.
Well, they may not. To be truthful, it's probably not even going to work. If you go in with a VPN, it's probably not even going to allow you to purchase it. But if you try to attempt, they find out, they're going to catch you on terms of service and probably terminate your account just because you violated terms of service. Same with any company. If you violate their terms of service, usually they terminate service. So,
right.
I mean, these things are all great
Dennis
points
brought
to
up
take
a good
notice
point
of.
in the chat. D. Bradley says, I wonder if there's a way to use Bitcoins to get around it. Just purchasing with Bitcoin. Can't you?
So you can't purchase anything on Steam with Bitcoin. You have to use different forms of payment such as PayPal, your bank card. There's a few other ones on there.
But I'm just saying, maybe he's just talking about the workaround where maybe you just purchased a hard copy via Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you could do that.
There is no hard copy really for PC. You can go out and buy a box set or a disc set for some older games like Diablo or StarCraft or something like that. There's games out there on disc, but
it's old dinosaur technology.
Even for Xbox games, they don't reflect the same sales they used to for disc games and so forth that they used to generate. It's just not the same generations anymore.
Right. Well, that makes sense. You got anything else for us?
Not too much. Really, that's kind of all I kind of prepared for this short segment. I just want to thank you for having me on, and
Yeah. Well, where can people do? Do you want to plug anything? You want anybody? Can't they follow you on Twitch or what do you want to plug?
They sure can. So. If you have any more questions about this, you can reach me, on Twitch. You can, or even find me on Instagram, Twitter, all of that. Just one Real Cosmos, the number one Real Cosmos, all one word. I'm cross-platformed on everything, so you can find me out there. It's not too difficult. So more specifically, if you want to find me on Twitch and find my, handles for any other social network, it's just twitch.tv/1RealCosmos. And you'll find my channel.
All right, sweet. Well, thanks for being on, man. You have a great night. I have some cool stuff you have lined up.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. You enjoy your evening. Bye.
See you. All right, everybody. So that was Real Cosmos there. That's my little brother. So we had that show lined up for you guys. Just something in the gamer world, because I'm not fully advanced on the whole gamer thing, and I don't know all about that. So I thought I'd get somebody who knows a little bit more about it. But the next thing that we got lined up here is the seeds from China. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this on your social media feeds. You might have seen a little bit of coverage from the mainstream media about it, but I haven't seen too much about it. But apparently people are receiving little packages of seeds from China, which is really wild to me. It's just weird, because at first I'm thinking dude, this is an all-out attack. First it was the coronavirus. Now we're getting seeds that we don't know what the effects of those seeds are once they're planted. And you have it goes on to even it looks like the Department of Agriculture, or there's agricultural officials who are concerned, and they've actually been warning Americans about these packets of seeds, and they apparently have confirmed that they do appear to come from China, and it looks about maybe 15 states across the country so far have issued some warnings to their residents about the plants, and do not plant these seeds. It looks like there's another statement here. The United States Department of Agriculture and the Department of Homeland Security and other state and federal agencies are investigating the packages that have shown up in certain people's mailboxes. Some people have referred to this as just a simple brushing scam, and apparently a brushing scam is where people receive unsolicited items from a seller who then posts false customer reviews to boost sales. So that's what a brushing scam is, and they think it could just be that. But since Sunday, residents in cities including like Nashville, Philadelphia, Cincinnati, Tampa, Minneapolis all have reported receiving this mysterious packet of seeds. And the USDA has actually urged anyone who's been receiving these seeds to actually hold on to them. They say hold on to it, hold on to the package, don't open it. Just hold on to the package and immediately contact your state's plant regulatory official or the plant health director of your state, and then they want you to just take all of those things and you can send those in. So I don't know. This is kind of interesting. I've been seeing this going around. No one really knows. They're saying don't plant them because they could have like serious side effects to surrounding vegetation and things like that. We don't really know what the seeds contain. So they're saying stay away from them and don't plant these. But it's just kind of interesting to see that all this this wild stuff is coming out of China recently. So I don't know what's going on with that, but we're going to keep an eye on it. If anything else develops on this story, I'll definitely bring it to you guys' attention. But next story, this one is kind of wild. I got a segment called Clown of the Week. I wanted to bring it up. Our Clown of the Week this week is this guy right here who you can see over my shoulder, Shaun King. Now, this guy, I mean, there's so much I could say about this guy. He is just really always pushing the envelope. A lot of what he says, I feel like is just to get a rise or reaction out of people. But if you don't know who Shaun King is, apparently he's a civil rights activist. He's also a writer. He uses his social media platform for social justice causes, such as like Black Lives Matter. Now, Shaun is one of those, in my opinion, one of those social justice warriors who is just about as ignorant as they come. I mean, just to be quite honest with it, he's about ignorant as they come. Now, I'm fully aware a lot of what he does and what he says, and I'm just assuming is he's looking for that shock factor or just to get people's reaction. But his most recent one has really kind of just got me mind-boggled. It just got me mind-boggled. But anyway, we're going to take a look at this most recent post from Shaun. Apparently, Shaun went to social media to give his remarks on a recent shooting that took place in Austin, Texas during a protest. Unfortunately, there's this guy, Garrett Foster, who decided to carry a weapon to this protest, an AK-47. He takes this AK-47 to the protest, and later in that evening, Garrett and a large crowd decide to gather around this car. And what happens is they walk up to the car. He allegedly points the AK-47 at the driver of this vehicle, trying to get him to roll the window down. And then shots exchanged, apparently, and the guy that was in the protest who had the AK ended up being killed, shot and killed. Now, what I'd like to do is take a look at Shaun King's social media post, and then we're going to look at some clips from the event to kind of corroborate what Shaun King has said and what has actually transpired. So let me just bring up his actual post here. I'm going to see if you can see that. If you guys, I'll move it up a little bit. So I don't know if you guys can read that fully, but I'll read it off for you just in case you can't. But he goes, "That's Garrett Foster. He was an unarmed, nonviolent demonstrator last night in Austin, Texas, and was shot and killed protesting for Black Lives Matter with his fiancée, Whitney. A man tried to run over the protesters with the car and fired 8 shots at them, killing Garrett, who was pushing Whitney in a wheelchair. She's a quadruple amputee, and they've been together since they were kids. This is just heartbreaking. He's a modern martyr for civil rights, but he shouldn't be. I'm so crushed for his family." Then he goes on to promote this grassroots law type thing. But he basically said this guy was unarmed, nonviolent demonstrator. Unarmed, nonviolent demonstrator, which is just completely bizarro to me because I have evidence that is not the case. That is not true. So let's take a look here. I got a clip of, and this clip is all I could find. There is some other clips out there, I believe, but this is the clip I was able to come up with that kind of gives a little bit of background into the situation, and then I have another follow-up clip after that. But let's take a look at this clip here. I'm going to go ahead and hit the play button for you. Give me a second. Get that Gamer News logo off. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this. So the car you can see there. All right, so that's that. I mean, that's kind of the clip there. It doesn't show. It was so much shakiness going around. There's so much happening. But if you refer back to Shaun King's post, he basically made it sound like this car drove into the crowd, and therefore that's what caused this guy to pull out his gun and stop the driver of the vehicle. But as you saw in that clip there, that vehicle was stopped for quite a bit some time. So it's kind of interesting he came up with that narrative. And then now we go back to the main point that I want to get at is the fact that he said this was an unarmed protester. Well, there's actually an interview here of Garrett Foster earlier that same evening, and it's going to prove that he was not unarmed. And we're going to take a look at that here. So let's just take a look at this real quick.
It's AK-47. What you got it out tonight?
So he's saying he has an AK-47 with him.
Some of our rights. If you feel like you don't need to use it? Nah, I think if I use it against the cops, I'm dead. And I think all the people that hate us and, want to say to us are too big of a stop and actually do anything about it. So why'd you start carrying? Well, our roommate got arrested and they stopped letting us march anywhere, so started carrying.
So I mean, you hear him there, and I mean, as bad as I never want to see anybody lose their life. It's never a good situation. You know what I mean? And very seldom is there something that warrants somebody to lose their life, and I don't think he should have lost it for protesting, but he pointed a gun at somebody. In addition to that, you kind of get a glimpse into this guy's mindset when he says, "Oh, the people who are that I can shoot, or the people that are riding by, or people that disagree with us are too scared." He uses another word. I don't want to repeat the word that he said, but he uses the P word, and he just says basically those guys are too scared to say anything to us. Basically it kind of gives you a little bit of insight as to what this guy going through this guy's head and what kind of dude he is. So you see it there. He's self-admittedly says that he has an AK-47 and that he brought it because they stopped there. He felt like he wanted to exercise his rights a little bit. Now, we've already read, Shaun King's post. If you believe Shaun King's post, then you probably believe that he's a black man. You know what I'm saying? Because he claims to be a black guy, but he ain't a black guy either. You know what I'm saying? So this guy's story, this Shaun King guy, I labeled him as the clown of the week because he's always talking nonsense. He's always talking stuff that he's pushing the envelope, spreading false information, trying to incite more anger and fear and stuff into people, create that further divide. And he's connected to the Black Lives Matter movement, and that's supposed to be from my understanding, from what I'm told, or I see a lot of, is that Black Lives Matter is not supposed to be this violent organization. It's not supposed to be one that speaks or tells false information. We want, equality. But when you look at this guy, Shaun White, who's supposed to be, or Shaun King, who's apparently a representative of this group who advocates for them, and he's spreading this type of information, I don't know. Guy's just a clown. But we're just going to keep on moving here. The next segment is going to be called something Same Date, Different Year. It's basically where I'm just going to give a quick little rundown for what's happening on today's date, August 3rd, but in prior years. So on August 3rd, 1972, the U.S. Senate ratified what was known as the Anti-Ballistics Missile Treaty between the United States and the Soviet Union. The U.S. unilaterally withdrew from the treaty in 2002. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Also on this date, this one is quite wild because it just so happened to fall on today's date. But on this date in 1942, Christopher Columbus set sail from Palos, Spain on a voyage that took him to present-day America. So apparently today is the day that Christopher Columbus set sail. So I thought that was pretty interesting from news from the past. And then lastly, the last quick story is in 1807, former Vice President Aaron Burr went on trial before the federal court in Richmond, Virginia, charged with treason. He was later acquitted of those charges less than a month later. Now, what I'd like to do for this segment going forward in the future is I'm going to try to develop a little bit more stuff and kind of make it a little bit more interesting, develop some stories that kind of reflect on older times, see if there's anything that's changed, see if history kind of repeats itself. So this is going to be a segment that I'm going to try to develop and make a little bit better. But we're going to keep on moving here. We're going to push right through. Another story is The Rock. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, he has apparently is part of a $15 million deal to purchase the XFL. If you're not familiar with the XFL, it's basically like a minor league football team. It's a step down from the NFL. Apparently, The Rock this Vince McMahon owned the XFL, who was the CEO of WWE. And now The Rock and apparently his ex-wife and some top sports management companies have teamed together in this $15 million deal to go ahead and purchase the XFL. I thought that was pretty cool. It's kind of interesting because the XFL actually was doing pretty well prior to the coronavirus. It was starting to get some views. People were trying to find an alternative to the NFL, that people were just fed up with the political stuff that the NFL is always doing. So they're like, look, I just want to watch some guys play football, not watch politics during my game. So people were tuning into the XFL. It was starting to blow up, pick up some momentum. Then the coronavirus hit. They had to stop playing, and then it just started to go to waste. But now that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has picked it up, I'm really interested to see what's going to happen and what's going to transpire. It's just, I'm kind of excited because I think it's weird. It's kind of weird, but almost everything The Rock touches turns into gold. I mean, it seems like this guy can do no wrong. It seems he's got a great attitude. He's got a huge fan base and support system. I think this could be a huge investment opportunity as well as a turning point for American football. Where you may no longer be forced to solely watch the NFL if you want to tune into some American football games. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it's going to be a long road. It's going to see how this comes back and how things bounce back, I guess, because, we're still going through the coronavirus. Still a lot of shutdowns and regulations. I mean, we've seen the NBA play a little bit here with no fans. We also seen the MLB trying to get back into plan, but then recently, I believe there was a few members from the Florida Marlins who caught the coronavirus, so they had to stop and cancel some of those games. So we'll kind of see what happens, but I am excited to see that Rock has purchased the XFL. I think it's going to really set this brand apart and kind of give them the boost that they've been looking for. So we'll keep an eye on that, and if anything really comes of it, I will certainly keep you guys posted on that. Last story of the evening, and we'll get on to talk about what's going on for next week. But the last thing I wanted to talk about is how you can get your free stock, okay? Now, when I say free, I mean absolutely 100% free. There's nothing that you have to... no money down, no fund your accounts, none of that stuff. It's absolutely free. All you have to do is go down to the description in this YouTube video. I have a thing that says free stock here. If you click that link, it'll take you to the Robinhood website. Now, when you get to that Robinhood website, you sign up for an account using my link that you clicked on, and you're going to receive one free stock, and at no cost. You get one free stock. All you have to do is sign up. And once you do sign up, you have a 1 in 250 chance of getting a really high price stock, such as companies in like Microsoft, Visa, Johnson & Johnson, Kinder & Morgan, Procter & Gamble, Halliburton. You have a 1 in 250 chance of getting one of those stocks. Otherwise, they're just going to give you a basic stock, or they'll just throw a random one out there. It could be, you have basically a chance to receive a stock up to $500. What you'll actually get, you won't know. I personally, when I signed up for the account through somebody else's referral link, I was able to get a free stock, and I actually got a company called COTY. Cody is the ticker symbol. It's in the makeup and beauty industry. Not really something that I'm excited about, but it's forcing me to learn about the industry a little bit more and kind of broaden my horizons, diversify my portfolio, and give me a chance to invest in something that I wouldn't typically invest in. The really cool thing about this as well is this is the easiest way to support the show right now. If you want to support the show and also you're going to get benefit out of it as well, it's a win-win. But if you want to support the show, go to this Robinhood link down in the description where it says free stock here. You click on that link, it's going to let you get one free stock, and it's the easiest way to support the show, guys. And you're also getting something out of the deal, because when you sign up, I'll get a free stock as well. If you decide to fund your account, that's going to give me a free stock. So it'll be a great way to kind of support the show, and I would certainly appreciate that. But that's going to be it for tonight's show. I do want to mention next week's guest. I have next week's special guest. Her name is Yana Tan. She's a very sweet girl. She's from the Philippines. She's actually going to be on to discuss health and fitness with us and what the lockdown has been like for her in the Philippines, where she is from, and how they're kind of navigating the coronavirus. Yana Tan is also a YouTuber who does mukbang videos and documents her fitness journey. So I look forward to having a conversation with her next week. If you want to learn more about Yana Tan, you can actually go down to the description as well. I've linked her YouTube channel. Please subscribe to her channel. Also, take a look at her Instagram page. Follow her on Instagram. She's got a lot of great, insightful content on there on how to keep up with health and fitness and all of that good stuff. But that's pretty much going to do it for tonight's show, everybody. I certainly appreciate all of you for tuning in. Next week, we're going to be on with Yana Tan at, it's going to be a pre-recorded episode, but you will see the episode available at 7 p.m. on Monday. So next Monday, you'll see that episode out. As always, it's been a pleasure being with you guys tonight. And I think that's all I got for you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. It was a really cool segment to have that gamer news with Jayme earlier on. But you guys take care, and God bless.